Hey guys, this is Joseph. Check out our trek from Kalaw to Inle Lake. We left Yangon around 8 p.m. on the night bus. It was one of the nicest buses, or rather the nicest bus, that we had in all of our travels in Southeast Asia. We arrived in Kalaw around 4 a.m. and it was very cold. Kalaw is a beautiful hill town up in the mountains, and it has a nice market. Our hotel, the Golden Kalaw Inn, had a nice view of the sunset, which we enjoyed, and the power went out only once. Early the next morning, we took a car further into the mountains to reach the location where we would actually start our trek. It was amazing seeing the agrarian lifestyle after having come from Yangon with its masses of people and traffic jams. Here, there was only a traffic jam of cows.
Yeah, they have a lot of money, so they pay some. I need to count something.
We went with Ko-Min trekking out of Kalaw, and we were very pleased. Our guide Ko-Ong met us at our hotel the night before to go over the details of the trek, where we'd be going, what to bring, what to expect. Our guide told us that this was a new route that we were going to take to Inle Lake, and that definitely seemed to be the case because we saw very few tourists. After watching the locals create baskets out of strips of bamboo, we head into the monastery to have snacks and tea with the monk, who is actually the leader of this monastery. And just out of respect, I didn't take any pictures or video of this head monk, but it was such an honor to be able to sit there with him in this beautiful monastery and enjoy his company, even though he didn't speak any English. We come across the Bodhi tree, the same type of tree under which the Buddha attained enlightenment. Nearby, some workers watch us from their field. Agriculture accounts for around 65% of the labor force in Myanmar. Our guide points out this eucalyptus forest to us, which smells amazing as we pass through. Lunch was delicious and beautifully prepared, but there was really a lot of food and we felt bad we weren't able to finish. After lunch and a short nap, we continue on, this time heading uphill further into the mountains. The scenery is absolutely stunning. We pass over the next ridge and find some locals harvesting wheat by hand. In the next village, we stop for tea with people of the Karen tribe. Our guide, Ko-Ong, passes out fruit from the market back in Kalaw. It's so incredible to see this subsistence way of life and to see the smiling faces of the people who lack a lot of the things that Westerners think are necessary for happiness.
Lady first.
We continue on past the village to another monastery where we witness the process of making bricks from limestone. Myanmar, along with Thailand and Laos, practices Theravada Buddhism, a more traditional form of Buddhism compared to Mahayana Buddhism, which is practiced in places such as China and Vietnam. It remains very common for young men to become monks to get an education. Our guide Ko-Ong was even a monk at one point. It's about a 35-kilometer hike from Kalaw to Inle Lake through the Shan state of Myanmar. We hiked a little over 6 hours this first day, but it was all pretty easy hiking. Ko On stops in this village, which he tells us is particularly poor, to give the locals some treats. Here in Myanmar, more than anywhere I've traveled, the people are so friendly, with a smile and a wave wherever you go. And there's so few tourists in this region where we were trekking that the locals were still amazed to see us. Our translator demonstrates how to grind up turmeric. Koang has brought some medicated pads for this lady's back, and more treats for these children. Ko Ong introduces us to this beautiful octogenarian who allows me to take her photo.
This old man is 80 years old.
These agave plants are really impressive. The Shan Plateau's elevation and mild climate made it popular with the British during the colonization of what was then called Burma. As the sun begins to drop, we near the village where we'll be spending the night. Our outdoor toilet was conveniently located next to the cow pen. But despite this, the hospitality from our hosts was amazing. The beer was warm, which was okay. We also had some Mandalay rum and another huge meal. The bug net tent in the bamboo hut where we slept was perfect. And Koang even woke us up in the morning with a song to let us know that breakfast was ready. Koang tells us about his family and his girlfriend, and we get to know him pretty well over the course of this trek.
This one, the England tourists say, they are original, you know. Also,
Our first view of Inle Lake, misty and distant. Limestone karst cliffs line the canyon that we walk
a little bit
along.
cover for the leaf. Very deep. Your iPhone fall down, you lose.
Oh no.
We meet these fishermen who have only caught one fish all night, so Koang gives them some money.
We go. He doesn't like foreigners.
After our brush with death, we continue on through another village. This marrow fruit is stacked by the thousands.
Marrow? Okay. Is it a fruit?
Yeah, fruit. We're making for soup.
Huh.
Inside is a white color. We're making pork and this marrow.
We descend towards the lake to find sunflower fields. And we stop at a small workshop that produces candy from sugarcane. Koang applies thanaka to our faces. Thanaka is a tree bark paste that is quintessentially Burmese. It can be applied in all kinds of different designs, and although it's mainly cosmetic, it also smells very nice and it has a cooling effect. You'll see people wearing Thanaka all over the country, even in the major cities. Ko-ong decides to serenade us.
Is this sugar cane? Right here?
Yes, sugar cane.
Okay. Whoa!
Ko-ong brings us to a kindergarten.
In Kalaw!
3-year-old to 5-year-old.
Oh, okay.
We find a good use for the sugarcane candy that we had gotten from the workshop. After a bit, Ko-ong tries to settle the kids down with some songs.
Very, very thank you. Very, very thank you.
We leave the kids to try to get back to their learning. We walk along a canal coming from the lake, and there are many offerings along its edge. Finally, we reach Inle Lake, where a big lunch awaits. Transfer by boat to the town of Shui, where most of the hotels for Inle Lake are located, was included as part of the tour. The tour company arranged for our luggage, our larger backpacks, to be taken directly to the hotel, and they also arranged a truck from the pier to the hotel. The Yar Pai Hotel had an excellent rooftop terrace area with drinking, and the room had a spacious balcony where we enjoyed the sunset with drinking. Be sure to check out some more of our videos and subscribe. Thanks.